Hey guys, Christian here from the Screaming Dads podcast. Now this is a mini episode, but in particular, it's a mini episode because I'm just gonna be running through our new green screen. Now we're not gonna use our green screen very much on the podcast, but we do use it on our main website, plaiddadblog.com. And if you've been on plaiddadblog.com for the past couple weeks, you'll see that we are running a series called How to Start a Podcast for Free, Cheap, or Our Way. Now, this is part of Our Way. We will every once in a while use a green screen for our podcast. Why do you do that? Why not do an audio-only podcast? Well, we think people want video. Heck, I want video and I like making video. So, and I just hit my mic there. So we want to make a video and audio podcast. Now, sometimes we'll only put up the audio podcast in a mini episode. And sometimes if it's a real video-centric episode like this, we might not have the audio version, but you'll know where to find it on YouTube, Plaid Dad Blog, and ScreamingDads.com. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of my green screen because a lot of people have been asking me about it. I did it DIY, and it is going to be covered in our part 3 of the How to Start a Podcast Our Way. So I'm going to give you a shot of the light bars that I use and also the setup on where we put the lights so that you can light the green screen evenly. The most important thing about green screening is not the light on you, but the light on your green screen. You want it to be as even as you can. You can see there's a little bit of a hot spot, which means a brighter area right here and right here, because I quickly threw up these lights. There's a little bit of a darker area right here above my head. I can fix that by moving around the lights and using a $10 app for iPad or Android called Green Screener. You can download that. It'll help tell you where the hot spots are. You just run that. You can stick your camera or iPad on a tripod while you're moving around the lights, and you'll see that your green screen gets a lot more even, and it's easier for your software to key it away so you can put the background in that you want. Now, I am lit with 3 lights right now, right in front of me. Usually I have an umbrella on this light to soften it up. But again, this was just a quick video to show off the green screen. I've got 1 light right here. I've got 2 lights over there a little further away. And I also have 3 lights above me. Now, these are 5000 K temperature bulbs, which is basically like sunshine. So my room is very bright right now in the podcast studio that we have going on. But they're those curly Q bulbs, so it's not too hot, so I'm not constantly wiping off sweat like many of you have seen my fat and disgusting self do many times before in our video podcast. Now I'm gonna show you our lights very quickly and how I put them together. All right, we're gonna go a little shaky cam handheld here. Now this is the light that sits directly behind me when I'm standing in front of the green screen. This helps get rid of any shadows that are behind me from the lights in front. Now above, I have what's called a hair light, and it kind of just gives me a little bit of glow around my head, some separation between me and the green screen. It helps everything look a little less flat. And as always, there is Aaron laughing at me from above in our Plaid Dad Blog podcast studios. Now, here are the light bars that I created. They're on a light stand, which is easy enough and cheap enough to buy on Amazon. And as you can see, each of them has 6 bulbs, and they are right in front of my beautiful white Red Sox jersey. Okay, now the video I'm going to link to on how to make these light bars uses a cut extension cord and puts that together inside of the light case. I just went to Lowe's and found this 3-point receptacle plug, sorry, a 3-point plug that you screw the wires into. It's much easier and it's cheaper. And I also just used this wire cover so that the wires weren't exposed, even though they are taped down on the inside. As you can see here, the wires just screw right into this 3-point plug, and it is easy peasy, as they say. Now I went into a 3-point extension that also goes into this 4-point, power pack. So I can just hit the button on this and it turns on all of my green screen lights all at once. I've connected them to my back shadow light. There's a wire run up to the hair light and then back down to the other C-stand with the other light bar. Okay, now this was all pretty easy to do. It was about 20 or 30 minutes to assemble each of the light bars. Really, you're just taking everything apart, unwiring it, then rewiring it back up to that 3-prong plug. Very easy. It's just a little bit of tedious work getting the wire stripped and put in. But I would say most beginners could handle this job. The green screen is simple green fabric. You don't have to buy elaborate green screen setups. If you do buy a nice $150 kit at Amazon.com, it's going to be very easy for you. It has a perfect bar for you to stretch the green on, and it's the more common shade of green. If you light it properly, your software isn't going to care what shade of green it is. And as always, you can use blue screen like they used to do in the 80s before they started really using green. But most people wear a lot more blue. There's a lot more of a bluish, purplish tint to people when you're lighting them. It's a little weird. Green is not in our skin tone, and it's not in a lot of the clothes we wear. So green screen is just easier and quicker to key out. Just remember, don't wear a green shirt, because when you key it, that part of you is going to disappear as well. And if I had a green t-shirt on, you'd be looking at a hole inside of me, but maybe that's better. You wouldn't be seeing my massive gut. So that is just a quick look at the green screen we have here at screamingdads.com and the Plaid Dad blog podcast studios, as we call it. I hope you got a little inspiration from that on how to build your own. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I will be happy to answer them. And be sure to check back at plaiddadblog.com to see part 3 of our How to Start a Podcast series. It's going to go into a little more of the extras that we bought and put into our podcast, like the mixing board, the green screen. It'll have a lot more of the prices and some of the mic flags and frilly extras that we use, but so many people love and comment on. Thank you for listening to our mini episode of the Screaming Dads podcast, and we will see you with a full episode next week. Check us out on Friday. Bye. This production is brought to you by the Plaid Dad Blog Podcast Network. For more information, visit plaiddadblog.com.